Omaha's news leader, chronicling the stories and people making a difference in our community. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle.
Well, kids are back in the classroom. Such an exciting time, but it can also be a scary one. Good morning, I'm Rob McCarty. Today it's back to school. We're looking at the concerns in the minds of school kids and their parents, from anxiety to the threat of drugs to injuries on the field and more. We begin with the unthinkable, a shooter in the school. Actually, it is thinkable. We've shown you how teachers and students are taught to protect themselves. But what about the officers trying to help them? The Sarpy County Sheriff's Office recently put their deputies through what they call active killer training. Chronicle's Sarah Feely was there to give us an inside look at this training.
Urgent calls for help as students run out of Platteview High School. An injured student calls out to police. Two responding Sarpy County deputies make their way down the hallway. Another man grabs for officers, but they continue their search until they're met with an active killer. That is the end of the exercise. Today, it's training. Tomorrow, it could be reality.
We push the principle of you may be by yourself, it may be a single officer response. You're not having the luxury of waiting for backup.
Okay.
Sarpy County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Blake Rotten leads the training.
Please don't move! Go! Lincoln!
He says every single deputy will go through the scenarios because every officer could respond.
It could be any of them. It could be a radio call and you have to go.
Lincoln!
The training is meant to be as real as possible.
They're getting ammunition rounds shot at them. If you get hit with those rounds, there's some pain involved with this, kind of a teaching tool to use.
Show me.
Deputies are taught to rely on their instincts.
The priority of life is us, is the innocent parties inside. Whether it's hostages, whether it's down parties in the hallway, we're certainly moving through the school with a sense of urgency, but we're also being keen listening.
Listening for things like this.
We understand that when we arrive at places like this that we have protective equipment on site. We have our ballistic vests on, we have firearms, we have training that we have, and we know we need to get in there and handle that.
Hosting the training in Platteview High School also offers deputies the chance to become familiar with a school they may need to respond to.
I'm excited they're here. I'm so glad that safety is the utmost concern for all of us at the school district, but it's got a little emotions going on because it's a scary scenario.
Knowing the building's layout helps their response beyond taking out a threat. New to the training is a rescue task force, adding in area fire departments and teaching them to safely and quickly get to those who are hurt.
That rescue task force involves them being inside of almost like a protective detail of deputies, and as we move into the school, we address down parties.
Where do we need to get to make that shot safely? Show me.
Rotten says the training has evolved as mass shootings have happened across the United States. And running these real-life examples will make deputies better if that nightmare ever becomes a reality.
I don't want to sit outside and wait for someone to get here and then a life is taken when I could have done something to keep that. That's a pretty terrible thing.
Something no one in the district wants, but knows is needed.
It's reassuring. It's reassuring having them here and knowing that they're continuously doing this training.
Good job. Good work. Questions?
Sarah Feely, KETV, Newswatch 7.
Well, as if that's not enough to worry about, the Drug Enforcement Administration's pleading with parents to talk with your kids about potentially deadly drugs. While drug poisoning is the leading cause of death for Americans ages 18 to 45, the DEA warns school-age children should also be aware of the dangers of deadly drugs. Here's Chronicle's Joey Sapchik.
It is not an easy conversation to have, no.
But the Drug Enforcement Administration deems it a necessary conversation, talking to your kids about deadly drugs as they head back to school.
The younger you start the conversation, the easier it's going to be and the easier it's going to go as kids grow up.
And parents should know fentanyl seizures are on the rise in Nebraska and surrounding states.
We know from DEA lab testing that 6 out of every 10 pills that are being tested come through with a potentially lethal dose of fentanyl.
Those pills can look like Xanax or Adderall, genuine prescriptions kids might be tempted to try. In reality, though, they're counterfeit and possibly lethal.
Now more than ever, we are telling people don't be taking a pill when you don't know where it's coming from, because one pill, one time, that can be a matter of life or death.
And drug sales can happen anywhere, anytime, in the real world or online.
It's as easy as ordering a pizza now. People can go online, unfortunately, and purchase drugs that way.
And while it's vital to have these conversations with your kids, you can also encourage them to talk to each other.
It is hard to try and have that conversation without scaring somebody, but the reality is we need to create that awareness and have those conversations.
Certainly do. That was Joey Safchik reporting. And in recent years, some metro school districts have made Narcan available on campuses. That's the drug that reduces or counteracts opioid overdoses. Well, drug use may be one way students begin to act out, but there are so many others. As a parent, there's a good chance, actually, you don't know why your child's acting differently. Dr. Larissa Che with CHI points out there can be a lot of reasons why.
Perhaps they're just a little bit more energetic. It could be part of normal childhood. Part of it could be perhaps something is bugging them. Is someone bullying them? Is there any kind of disturbance at home? Maybe parents or caregivers have changed. Is there some ADHD? Is there a learning disability? There could be lots of things.
And we're taking a look at what students go through day to day through the eyes of a school resource officer when KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle continues. And later, sports injuries, collisions also concern parents. So we're getting tips on what you can do to protect your child and what they can do to protect themselves.